Honorable Judge Juli Mathew is the first Indian American woman elected to the bench in the United States and the first Asian American elected to the bench in Fort Bend County, Texas. She was elected in 2018 to serve as judge for county court and re-elected with an overwhelming majority in November 2022. Born in India, came to the USA in 1983, raised in Philadelphia. Judge Mathew received her bachelor's degree from Penn State University and her Juris Doctorate from Widener University, now called Delaware Law School. Judge Mathew has practiced in both Pennsylvania and Texas for the last 15 years. She was in the area of creditor rights, oil and gas, probate, and criminal law. I knew Julie and her family for a long time. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Daniel, former member of Bethel Marthoma Church, Philadelphia. And also, she is the niece of Dr. Epen Daniel. I'm happy to invite Honorable Judge Juli Mathew as our chief guest for this evening. Julie, please come forward.
Good evening, everyone. Come on, you can't say good evening, you can't. I flew all the way from Texas, got on a plane at 5 o'clock this morning to come here, and I can't get a good evening?
Good evening.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I am very much happy to see some familiar faces, a lot of you. I do recall the faces. Unfortunately, I'm not very good with the names. Thomas Paul Uncle called my dad and asked him if I would come, and I tried every which way to not come, but my father made sure, he's very dear to us and gave me this whole manipulation that our parents tend to do. And so here I am among your midst. Tomorrow is my birthday. I wanted to be home, so I do my flight, the most straight flight that I can get out of here that reach my house at, hopefully I'll be there by 7 o'clock tomorrow to celebrate with my family members. So thank you for having me. It's my great privilege to be here. As most of you know, I grew up in Philadelphia, but I was born in Kerala. I was born in actually where my mom's place is, in Perumbatti, this very small hospital called St. Thomas. And I think it may still exist, but it is almost the tiniest thing. It's a speck on the map. If you drive by it, you will miss it. But my father's house is in Vennikalam, and Tiruvalla has a special place in my heart. My mom worked for the government hospital in Tiruvalla, and so as a child, I remember going to Tiruvalla, and she used to work night duties, and I would go and sleep there and be friends with all of the nurses, and they would take me around. I met doctors, and it was just a great time to be a child in Kerala. I absolutely adored being there. I had a great time being there. It holds a very special place in my heart, especially those first few years that I got in Kerala with my grandparents and my uncles and my aunts. It was something I treasure. I grew up in Philadelphia. We came here I believe we moved here when my uncle also moved from Texas to here. They moved from Lubbock to here, and we had initially come to Chicago, and we moved to Philadelphia in 1986. I did finish off my elementary school here, my middle school, and my high school. Went off to Penn State for college, then went to Delaware for law school, and soon after I moved to Texas. It's been very much a journey so far in life. Life has had very many twists and turns. It's never what one expects it to be. I never thought I would ever leave Philadelphia, but I did. And Texas is my home, and it has been very kind to me. The reason I became a judge, or the reason is because we do have a large number of Asian American population, especially Malayali population in Texas, and they are very actively involved in politics in the recent years, and we have had significant impact in the political climate in Texas. In 2018 or 2016, when I thought that I wanted to run for judge, it was very hard initially. In the previous elections, our people hadn't voted. So to get our community moving and motivated, because our voice is really by the representation that we have. If we have somebody that, on a daily basis, I get at least one call from somebody asking help or a direction or some sort of a need that they have. And I often think, if I wasn't in office, if there wasn't another Malayali in office, we have actually 3 or 4 Malayalis currently in office in Houston. And that's because we have been active and making sure that our voices are heard. In 2018, when I wanted to run, I wasn't sure where we were going. I wasn't sure if I can get people to vote. But I knew that I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see in this world. So often we think, oh, somebody else can do it, somebody else can do it. At what point do we decide that it's we who decide to make that change? In 2013, initially when this whole judgeship, I had ideas of running for judge at the time, and somebody told me at that point to run for the position I wanted, it was $85,000 that I needed, and that judge that was in that position was very well liked. So when I heard that, $85,000 in 2013 to run for that position that I needed, I chickened out. I was scared. I didn't think I could do it, and so I stepped back. But in 2016, I realized that what if I go to the end of my days in my life and decide or think about, I regret this. I regret not taking a chance. So what did I do? I run for a higher position. I didn't just stop at the position that I initially was going to run for. I decided, why not take a bigger risk? So I am one of the 6 judges on the county level, and in Texas, judges are elected. So every single citizen of Fort Bend County at some point or another will come through the county court system. I handle juvenile cases, both felonies and misdemeanors. I just got done with last week I was in jury trial. I had a aggravated kidnapping, aggravated assault, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. It took all of my energy to try that case last week. We also handle civil cases up to $250,000, adult misdemeanor cases, probate, guardianship, juvenile mental health. I created a court specifically for that, as well as multitude of areas. So I think a lot of people get surprised when they walk into a court and see a judge that doesn't necessarily in people's ideas of what a judge looks like. So I also get a thrill out of seeing people's reactions when they see me on the bench. And to be honest with you, I was kind of overwhelmed. I didn't know what exactly to come here and speak to all of you, especially being a charitable organization. It's great to see the initiatives in place, such as being able to donate to Vegas. And recently, Gobinath Mudugard was in Texas, and he also has a differently able school. And it's fantastic that our community in this country is helping those less fortunate in India. It is much needed, because if we don't, then who will? And so I hope that all of you will open up your pocketbooks and your checkbooks and give the most that you can for this organization and this well-deserved fundraising effort. Do not walk out of here without giving your best, your max that you can. If you think you can give a little bit more, okay? Add a few more dollars to it, and make sure you write a check. Before I go, one of the things I do want to talk about is to the kids in this audience. I know there are a few of you. Know that you can accomplish anything that you set out to do. There is nothing that is impossible if you put the work and the effort towards achieving it. My daughter, my oldest, just graduated from high school, and I was prompting her to necessarily go for a different major than she wants. And she's like, Mom, it takes a lot of years and it takes a lot of work. And I said, you know what, Alina? Anything that takes Anything that's worth achieving in life takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of hard work. There is nothing that is impossible if you put your mind to it. When I ran for judge, I had a 6-month-old, a 1.5-year-old, as well as a 12-year-old. And I would walk into shopping centers, I would walk, just taking a walk in a park, wherever we were, I would say hi to people, introduce myself. Hi, my name is Juli Mathew. I'm running for judge of County Court of Law number 3. Would you vote for me? I used to embarrass my oldest so badly, a 12-year-old, she would run the other way. As soon as I start talking to people, she would bolt the other way. So it was embarrassing for her. But the reason that I'm in this position is because I knew that if that one vote was going to what makes me, what propels me to become a judge in this country. This girl that was born in India in a little village is now standing as a judge of a county court. If it's that one vote, I was not going to miss out on the opportunity. So every single one of you, you have the world to aspire. If you desire to be the president of the United States, you can do it. Just aspire, set that as your goal. Don't let anything limit you. You can do it. Everyone who is my age, I am in my mid-40s now, so I want you to tell you that this is it. We're at the pinnacle of our life. There also, if there is something that you want to do not back out of it. If you have a goal in mind, if you want to do something, now is your opportunity to accomplish that. Take those risks that you have held back on. Do not leave something for tomorrow, because that tomorrow may never come. And then for the older generation, as I said, I'm also the judge of a probate court, meaning people who pass away, their wills, their guardianship, anything that comes through also comes through our court. And so if you don't have a will right now, make sure that you have a will, because there is nothing as sad as you see family members fighting with each other as to what to do with people's assets. It makes me very sad when brothers and sisters turn against each other. So make sure that you have a will if you don't have one. And also, don't try to save up all your wealth for the next generation. The next generation can provide for themselves. If you have never taken a trip with your wife, if you have never gone anywhere, if you have never had a vacation, take a vacation. Go somewhere nice. Enjoy this world. There's so much to see. There's so much to do. Don't waste your time, your health, whatever that you have waiting for tomorrow. Do those things right now. So those are things that some of the pointers that I just wanted to come up and say. Usually in smaller meetings, I guess this is very much a small meeting, but if you had any questions or anything like that, I can answer that. I will be here for the rest of the night. It's fantastic to be here. Thank you once again for having me, and hope to get to meet all of you before we leave. Thank you so much.